Hi, it's me, Sugarberry, and welcome back to another vintage toy haul video. So all the toys that I'm going to show you today are toys that I either thrifted or they're toys that my husband Prime gave me as gifts. So I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into looking at some toys.
Greetings!
So I took a little trip to Goodwill, which is a thrift store not too far from my house. It's in one of the towns close to where I live. And I found one toy there. I found a Dolly Surprise. So Dolly Surprise was produced by Hasbro / Play School between 1987 and 1990. And the feature with these was that if you raise their right arm, their hair grows. This one actually works. Look at her hair grow. Okay. And then if you want it to go shorter again, you just have to pump her left arm and the hair goes back into her head. It takes a long time to pump. I didn't have any of these when I was a kid, but I remember the commercials very clearly. So all of the dolls are this size. And if I compare with a Barbie, you can see that she's a little bit shorter than a Barbie, pudgier. And from what I understand, there were 4 different characters. Like there was Holly. This is Holly, the blonde girl. There was Lolly, Molly, and Polly. And they all had different hair colors, different skin colors, different outfits. And they all had these built-in butterflies in their hair. Like this doesn't come off. It's stuck right in her head. And they all have different textures of hair. So this one has some curly hair and some crimped hair. And I actually have another one in my collection. This is also Holly. And she's got 3 different textures of hair. She's got curly hair, she's got straight hair, and crimped hair. So I think that's really interesting. I love that about these dolls. I think that makes them really unique. So I have 2 Hollys. This Holly, this is her original outfit. She's missing some pieces, but it's kind of like a fishing theme. So she's got bubbles on her t-shirt. She's got fishnet details like fishnet pockets, a fishnet hair bow, and then her pants here have little purple fish on them. Really cute. And she originally had little white shoes, I believe. I think they were white. And she had a little necklace that was also a little purple fish. And I forgot to mention that this is one of the ones that was released in 1987, which is the first year that Play School / Hasbro decided to release these dolls. So now I have 2 Dolly Surprises, both Hollys. So hopefully I can find some more. I would love to be able to find some of the ones with different hair colors and different skin colors, just to mix it up a little. And just a little life update. Sorry that I've been missing in action for about a month because sadly we unexpectedly lost our little pug Zoe last month in June. She wasn't even 5 years old. She was supposed to turn 5 this September. Long story short, the vet misdiagnosed her, and by the time we realized that there was something really seriously wrong, it was too late. So if you're new here, Prime and I have 2 dogs. We have Yoda and we had Zoe. 2 pugs. And they're like our children. We treat them like our children. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you may have even heard her snoring in the background because she was always with me. She was my girl. Her and I had such a strong bond. So I've been extremely depressed since that happened and have struggled to find joy in anything, including collecting and creating these videos. But I think I'm starting to feel better, and I'm starting to focus on things that are positive, focus on the good memories, and just getting back to life again, normal life. I'm just really hoping that, getting back into collecting and making these videos are going to be therapeutic and help me get back into the swing of things. And then I went to another thrift store where I found 3 more toys, and I was super happy to find this guy. This is a Ken doll from the 1960s, and every time I look at this, I see a beloved character from a very famous movie. I don't know, am I the only one that's seeing this?
And you tell it so well, with such enthusiasm.
Would you like to see what Lieutenant Dan looks like?
I think it's the crew cut that makes me think of Forrest Gump. Okay, so the original Ken was released in 1961, I believe, and he had flocked hair, and I think he had a different face than this. And then in 1962 is when this face mold was released with the crew cut. He came with either blonde hair or this brunette hair. That same year, they also released another Ken with a very similar face, but it was shorter and smaller. And he was called the Shorty Face Ken. He was slightly shorter than this one as well, maybe like a 1/4 inch shorter. Like I said, he had a shorter, smaller head. His eyeliner around his eyes was a lot thicker than this one. And also his irises of his eyes, like the blue of his eyes, had no black outline, whereas you can see this one does have a black line, just a really thin black line all the way around the blue of his eye. So I thought that was really interesting. I had never really looked into that before. So I'm pretty sure this guy was released in 1962. They did release this face sculpt between 1962 and 1968, so he could have been from any time within that period, but I believe he's 1962. Some of these guys had bendy legs. This one does not. This one just has straight legs. They don't snap like, you know, how Barbie knees snap. And so when I found him, he was wearing this shirt. I haven't been able to identify the shirt 100%. It does look and feel vintage to me. So I don't know if it's like, maybe it's a G.I. Joe shirt or something. Or is it just maybe a vintage Barbie shirt, or maybe a clone? Who knows? If you know, please let me know. Any help I can get with identifying things is greatly appreciated. He's not in the best shape because his nose is a little bit worn off there. Looks like somebody took a bite out of his nose.
That's not nice.
He's extremely dirty. And I put these shorts on him. I already had these shorts in my collection. I just put them on him so he has something to wear. So I thought you might like to see the difference between a 1960s Ken and a 1980s Ken. You can see the 60s Ken is a little bit more thin. He doesn't have as much muscle mass as the 80s Ken. This is my California Dream Ken from the 80s. 86, I think I want to say. Much different face mold. Bigger head on the 60s Ken. Yeah, it's very interesting. On his bottom, he's got printed on there, it says Ken patent pending MGMLY by Mattel. I think that's what it says. It's really hard to read because it's very tiny. And then on the bottom of his foot, it does say Japan. You probably can't see that on camera. So there were reproductions made of these guys as well, but I'm pretty sure this is an original because of the Japan stamp and the stamp on his bottom. And just his condition, like he's in pretty rough condition. So I'm gonna guess he's an original 60s doll. And then at the same Value Village, I found Cheer Bear. This is my first plush Care Bear from the 80s.
3 cheers for Cheer Bear! Hooray! Every day can be a Care Bear day.
Each sold separately, Friend Bear, Tenderheart Bear, and Cheer Bear are part of the Care Bears collection from Kenner.
This one was released in 1983. Cheer Bear is the pink Care Bear with the rainbow on the belly. It's hard to tell that she's pink. She looks probably more white on camera, but she actually is a very, very light pale pink. So she still has her tag on here. He or she. Is Cheer Bear a boy or a girl? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look into that. But the tag says Kenner, Care Bears Collection, American Greetings Company, 1983. And of course, the classic heart, Care Bear's heart on the bottom there. I really like the little tufts of hair on the top. Really cute. I'm excited. Okay, I have a question for you. Who was your favorite Care Bear when you were a kid? And then the second question is, who is your favorite Care Bear now? Because I think when I was a kid, Cheer Bear was probably my favorite. I don't really remember, but I'm gonna say Cheer Bear because she was pink. I loved pink. Pink was like queen of all colors. And with the rainbow on the belly, I mean, yeah, it would have been a no-brainer for me, I'm sure.
We're the Care Bears, and we care about you.
Now, I'd have to say that my favorite Care Bear would be Grumpy, because if you've watched the 80s cartoon, you know that he's kind of crusty, he's a little standoffish, not always the most happy, and I think he's probably the most realistic Care Bear character in the whole show. But then usually at the end of the show you find out that he really does have a heart and he really does care.
Huh, a likely story.
So back in the 80s, they released different sizes of Care Bear plushes. So there was a 6-inch plush, there was a 13-inch plush, an 18-inch, and a 36-inch. So 4 different sizes. I don't have a tape measure here with me, but I'm pretty sure this is the second smallest size. And I like this size. I'm not sure I would be able to handle the 36-inch plush. That's 3 feet. Not sure where I would put that. And then the last toy I found at Value Village, it's not really a toy, is this Barbie case. I love it. I've seen this one in various places, but when I saw it at Value Village, I was like, you know what? I don't have a single Barbie case. I don't have a single vintage Barbie case in my collection. And I really like this one. It's not in perfect condition. You can see on the edge here, it's kind of falling apart, but I absolutely love this cover on it. She's so 80s, early 90s, just her hair, her outfit, the colors, everything is awesome. And it does say in the very corner here, Mattel 1989. And I'm sure you've seen these cases too, if you're a collector. You know, nothing terribly special about them. A little drawer inside, and then a little rod to hang Barbie clothes if you want to. I'm not gonna put anything in it, I don't think. Maybe someday, but at the moment, it's just gonna sit on my shelf and look pretty. And then at another Goodwill in a totally different town, I found this gorgeous Barbie. I actually got this ages ago, and I meant to talk about her in a previous video, but I completely forgot. I think I was going to talk about her in like a Christmas video, but because I took kind of a break from YouTube during that time, I didn't end up doing it. So anyways, this is Snow Princess Barbie from 1994, and look at her. She's just beautiful. And I honestly didn't even know this Barbie existed until I found her. Really gorgeous, lots of sequins all over her. Look at those earrings. Amazing. I love the headdress, sort of hat thing, really beautiful. The feathery poofy sleeves, and then her gown is also just full of sequins. She's more off-white than white, more of like a yellowy white. And I don't know if that's just because of age or if she was originally released that way, but the detail on her is just beautiful. And she's actually part of the Enchanted Seasons collection. I believe there were 4 dolls in this collection, 1 for each season. So there was Summer Splendor, the summer doll. There was Autumn Glory, so the fall doll. This is the Snow Princess, who was released both in blonde and brunette. So this is clearly the blonde one. There was also a brunette one. And then there was a Spring Bouquet. So beautiful. I currently have an area where I keep all of my like white, wintry, wedding kind of dolls. And this girl goes in there. And then at another Value Village, I found these 2 Lil Miss dolls, and I posted this on Instagram ages ago because I found them ages ago. But I was so excited because I have no Lil Miss dolls in my collection until I found these. So Lil Miss was released by Mattel between 1989 and 1993. And of course they all have some sort of gimmick. I think most of them have like a color changing feature. So I'll talk about this one first. This is actually Lil Miss Magic Jewels, and she was released in 1991. And this is her original dress. She's also wearing her original shoes, which is great. She would have also had a pink crown, a pink bracelet, and a pink comb. And she also came with this wand, which was also at the thrift store. So you could put little jewels in this wand somehow. I'm not 100% sure how it worked. I think she came with 24 different jewels, and the jewels would go in this wand, and when you push the button, another one would come out, and you would touch the wand to either her hair or to her dress, and you could put stick these little jewels on her. I think you could probably also put them in your own hair if you wanted to, or your body. But yeah, I think this is such a great find. She does have tinsel in her hair. She has painted on earrings and really, really adorable face. It's classic for them to have a heart on their face. And I think she's even got her original little panties there. And I mean amazing hair play dolls, because look at the hair on them. So much hair, it goes almost down to their feet. Really gorgeous. Clearly I have to do some work on her, but I'm just happy to have her. And then this is Lil Miss Candy Stripes, who was released in 1993. So 2 years after the other one I just showed you. And her feature was a color changing feature. So she came with this little applicator thing that when you filled it with icy water, it would put these colorful stripes in her hair. And it would change her bikini here from white to pink and orange. When you use warm water, it makes the stripes on her hair disappear, and it changes her bathing suit to white again. So she's got a little bathing suit bottom underneath, and then she's got this skirt and then a bikini top, which is kind of a halter style top. I didn't tie it very well, clearly, but you can see at the back here where it's sort of turned a little bit white. Wonder if I put the heat of my hand on here, if the orange will change. See? Changes back to white. And again, she's got the painted on earrings. These ones are orange. Cute little eyes. Slightly different than the other one's eyes. Okay? More of a squinty eye. But again, classic heart on the cheek. Again, really super long hair that goes, well, to her feet. I just love this. This concept is really cool. And I love the orange and the pink together. I just love that color combo. Her hair needs some work as well. Just beautiful. I have a couple more questions for you. Number 1, do you live in Ontario, Canada? Number 2, do you have a vintage toy collection? And number 3, would you be willing to have your toy collection featured on this channel? So if you answered yes to all 3 of those questions, I would really love to connect with you. What I'd like to do is come out to wherever your collection is, come meet you, see your collection, and then feature it on this channel. That being said, Ontario is quite a large province, so you know, there's some areas of Ontario I might not be able to travel to so easily, but that doesn't mean I won't. So if you're interested at all, you can send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is sugarberrysparkles. Yeah, we can discuss the details further. So that's it for all of my thrifted toys. Moving on to all the toys that I received from Prime. If you're new here, Prime is my husband. He's also a toy collector from the same basic era that I am, except he focuses more on the toys that were geared more towards the boys in the 80s and 90s. We used to work this channel together, but recently he started his own channel just because we realized we have 2 very different audiences. So if you'd like to check out his channel to learn more about He-Man, Star Trek, Star Wars, all of those awesome boy toys. His channel is called The Prime Geek, so go ahead and check it out. So Prime and I, for Christmases and birthdays, we always exchange gifts, and of course, the gifts always include something toy related. So he got me 3 G1 My Little Ponies, which I'm super excited about. He got me all 3 of these Sparkle Ponies.
Oh, nice!
So all 3 of these Sparkle Ponies were released in year 7, so 1988, and there was 6 of them all together. So this yellow one with purple hair, her name is Napper. They all have tinsel in their hair, which is awesome. I love the tinsel feature. I love the sparkle feature. She's got the purple eyes. Her cutie mark is a green moon with a purple cloud and some purple stars. And there was also a mail order version of this pony that had a purple star and cloud on her cheek as well. This is not the mail order version. She's just got her regular blush on her cheeks. And originally she came with a light pink moon comb. And then this purple one is my absolute favorite of these 3. I just love purple. This is Twinkler. And again, Sparkle Pony. She's got the tinsel in her hair. I love that she's got some blue tinsel. Really cool. I think it's blue and gold. And then her cutie mark is little stars. Yellow and pink stars. She's a Pegasus, so she's got the wings. Yeah, I gotta say, I think this is one of my favorite ponies because I love her pose. I love that she's got the wings. I love that she's got different colors of tinsel, and I love the sparkles. I love the purple. What's not to love? And again, there was a mail order version of her with little stars on her cheek. Again, this is not the mail order version. And originally she would have came with a blue moon comb. Yeah. And then finally, this is Skyrocket with the greenish blue body and bright red hair. And she has tinsel as well, but it's blue, which is really cool. And her cutie mark is a rocket. I think that's very cool. And again, there was a mail order version of her with a little rocket on her cheek. This one is not a mail order one. So I think I'm getting close to actually completing this Sparkle Pony collection, if I remember right. I can't remember what I'll have from that collection. And then for Christmas, Prime also got me some Care Bears. So he got me some of the 3-inch posable Care Bears, and then he got me some of the little miniatures. And this is my absolute favorite size of Care Bear. I love these little 3-inch posable ones with the little tufts of hair on the top. And they can stand on their own, which is great. This is Graham's bear. She's the grandmother of the Care Bears. If you've seen the 80s cartoon, she's very wise. She likes to tell stories. She gives lots of great advice. Her symbol on her belly is a flower. And of course, she's got her little pink granny shawl tied cutely at the front, and classic Care Bear's heart on her bottom. She's got paint rub on her nose, but other than that, she's looking pretty good. Her leg is kind of coming off a little bit. It's not all the way into the joint like it should be, but that's okay. Again, I mean, I've said this many times, I don't expect perfection in my toys because these are vintage played with toys. And then he got me Bedtime Bear. Bedtime Bear's symbol is a moon and stars. Again, there's a little bit of paint rub on the nose. That seems to be pretty standard with these lately, it seems. There's a little bit of paint rub on the nose, little blue tuft of hair, and you can see that he's looking sleepy. His eyes are droopy, and it does say AGC, American Greetings Company, 1983. So that's when these were released, 1983. And Bedtime Bear, of course, is the sleepy bear. He's found napping in random places, falling asleep at the most inopportune times. He's a bit of comedic relief in the cartoon. And then we have Funshine Bear. Funshine Bear is the generally happy bear. And yellow would be appropriate for her with her yellow sun symbol on her belly. Again, some paint rub on her nose, but it's not the end of the world. And then, like I said, he got me some miniatures. So I have a mini Funshine Bear carrying, oh, it looks like a little butterfly. That's cute. And then this is Tenderheart. He's kind of like the leader of the Care Bears sometimes. These miniatures were also released in 1983, American Greetings Company. And then we have little baby Hugs here. She is one of the baby twins. So there was baby Hugs and baby Tugs. Baby Tugs is her twin brother. He's blue. She's pink. And yeah, they're, like I said, they're the cute little baby twins. They spend a lot of time with Graham's bear. She spends a lot of time raising them and, you know, teaching them life lessons. So she's holding this little orange ball with a yellow star on it. Her symbol is a little heart with a star coming out of it, and she's wearing a little diaper because she's a baby. And then last but not least, my buddy Grumpy. And Grumpy's grumpy because he lost his ice cream on the ground.
Oh.
And his symbol is a rain cloud with some hearts underneath it. Really cute. All right, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got your daily dose of nostalgia from all the toys that I've shown you here. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!